Welcome back. Today I'm going to do a video on trick shots in Golfstar. By trick shots I mean unusual shots, methods of making the green where you might not think it'd be possible. There's quite a few of these tucked away in the game, most of which will be common knowledge to the more experienced players, but perhaps there's one or two that have been missed, and certainly for newer players this should be quite useful. These are shots that you won't often be able to work out yourself, but you see someone else do it once and you think, so that's how you do it. So there's plenty that I won't cover here. If you can think of any, please comment below. But I've picked on 6 in particular for this video. I'm going to start off at Aztec from the 5th tee. So this hole is possible to reach the green once you've got quite a few stats, probably about 2,500 thereabouts. However, I always thought it was only possible with a draw. That's not the case. It is possible to get on the green with a low shot through the trees. So the problem you'll have when you try to draw, especially if you've got a left to right wind, which we have on this occasion, it's useful. You see this tree here. Basically you'll try and draw, because of the wind you'll get a bit close to it, you will clip the tree and you'll end up either out of bounds or in a lot of trouble struggling to make par. If you can draw it, you want to be striking the fairway here and you'll end up on the green round about there, but again it really does require a little bit of a headwind, preferably with a bit of right to left, which we certainly don't have. However, it is possible to play a low shot, as I mentioned, through the trees. You can't see any daylight coming between the trees, but it is possible. Now if you line it up just to the left of that big tree there and play a low shot, for my stats I'm now just under a full 2 wood. At one point I could make it with a 1 wood full. Over time, as my stats increased, that became impossible. I kept going off the back. Then with a 2 wood it was possible, and I'm now at the stage where a full 2 wood starts going off the back, so I need to hit it around about 99%. Very tricky to get it exactly right now. It's always handy when you know a full shot will get you on in most winds. So anyway, 2 wood, 99%. This should miss the tree, hit the rough, roll up the bank a little bit and end up on the green. It's taken a lot more pace off it than maybe I would have wanted, but I'm safely on the green, and from that position you should see a fairly straightforward putt. And there it is, 9 times out of 10 that's an eagle. On to rolling hills now. This is the 7th hole from the 3rd tee, which is a par 5. If you've got a few stats, it's a very straightforward eagle this hole in most winds. You can belt it down onto the low fairway, round about where I'm aiming there now, and it's a standard flop up onto the green. Very tricky to get anything other than eagle when you've got quite a few stats. However, it is possible to get albatross. You'll notice I'm aiming at the path here. There's a bit of a red tree bush to the right of us there, which I want to miss, but I'm going to play a low shot. I'm going to bounce it off this path. It's going to bounce up the hill. There's a big steep bank which is going to take all the pace off it, because it would go way too hard otherwise. And it's going to nestle nicely on the front of the green. That's the plan anyway. It's one of these shots where you get a sweet spot. You know, at one point a full 1 wood would get me up comfortably. I'm now at the stage where a 2 wood gets me on the front of the green. I could go a bit ambitious and go with a 1 wood, but more than likely I'll end up over the side, over the back of the green. So I'm going to play a full 2 wood low shot just to the left of that little red tree. So here we go. If you do catch the tree, you can leave yourself in a lot of trouble. So, you know, it's one for if you're chasing the game, or if you've got no problem dropping a shot or two, then go for it, especially in a crosswind. Easy enough in the wind I've got there now, and it's left a not too far away putt, but you'll notice it's quite steeply uphill and there is a left to right break, so by no means a straightforward putt, but certainly holdable. And we move on to Sequoia. This is from the 1st tee, and this is hole 8. Now this is drawable with a right to left wind, which we haven't got here. You can play a draw shot and quite easily catch that tree on the right hand side. So So whilst it is possible to draw, it means that you'll be quite often happy to come away with a birdie at this hole in certain winds. However, there is a way to reliably get on the green every time in any wind. It's probably the easiest shot in Golfstar once you know about it. So you'll notice, well, firstly, if I was to draw it, that's what I was talking about here, this tree. I'm not going to draw though. I'm basically going to play a full iron shot, way too hard from what you might think. But what's going to happen is it's going to basically whack the tree. It's going to drop fairly dead. It'll catch the fairway in front of the green. It'll roll up into the middle of the green. That's the plan anyway. So I'm going to take a forward. Depending on your player, you may want to use I'm going to take a 4 iron personally, sorry. A 3 iron power shot is what I play in my character with 1800 stats. Lower stats, perhaps even a 2 iron power shot, but I seem to remember making this with 900 stats quite comfortably. So let's get on with the shot. I'm going to play a 4 iron full. Aim it just to the left of that of the hole. I'm not going to worry at all about that left to right wind, because there's so little distance between the tee and the hole. It's got no time to have any real effect, so it'll move a yard or two in the air, but not a lot more than that. Hits the tree, hits the front of the green, and you can't get much closer than that. Straightforward eagle. And now we're at Sawgrass. This is the 5th tee, and it's the 7th hole, which is a par 4. Similar to Sequoia, a whole load of trees. A draw is possible. I've got a left to right wind again, which makes a draw basically impossible. With a right to left wind, I'd be looking to draw it round here, and I'll be lucky to end up in the middle of the green. With that bunker in front, it makes it a very tricky shot. However, what we can do, and at first glance you would by no means think this is possible, we can basically whack it through these trees. Now you'll notice these trees I'm pointing at here, they're rendered differently. They're essentially flat. They're basically an image of trees, but they're not real. You can't hit them with the ball. Coming a bit further back, you'll see real trees. You can see a normal trunk, normal branches. Hit those and you're in trouble. But these ones here, these flat ones, aren't going to be any problem at all. Once you get closer to the green, you get real trees again. So essentially, as long as you find your way through the first bunch of trees, you can fly all the way to the green, and you can make this a much easier eagle opportunity. The wind can make it quite tricky, and it is quite a small target to aim for, because that bank in the front is very steep, so it can easily hit it and roll back, or if you go too much, you can easily go off the back of the green. But it's certainly a very doable shot. So I'm going to play a 3-wood. I'm going to play it around about 430, 429, a little bit under thereabouts. With that wind, I can't go any further left because of the tree, so it's always going to end up right to the hole. But I should be able to hold the green and give myself an eagle opportunity. So we should see the bank. It's a bit obscured by the tree, but the bank's taken the power off it, and now we have a straightforward eagle opportunity again. So now we're back at Sequoia Inn, this time from the 6th tee. Now this hole, I've only recently found this shot, and I thought this was impossible to make the green, but it turns out there's usually a way through. I think they program it that way. They make the holes to tempt you in. So perhaps you can give it a go and have a disaster, or make an eagle or an albatross, and make things a bit interesting, because again, not an obvious shot, this one. But essentially, this tree that's going across the fairway, you can play a low shot. For my stats, a 4-wood low shot will clear that tree. You've also got to think about what happens on the other side of it. But even if you catch the sand there or end up in the rough, it's a much better position to be in than way down the fairway, which is down here somewhere, which is the most likely place to be if you try and play a fade or a high fade over the tree. So I'm going to aim it, as you can see, just to the left of that tree. I'm going to select a low shot. I'm going to select my 4-wood, and I'm going to hit it full blast. Now you'll see plenty height to clear the tree, or enough anyway. It's going to bounce in front over the sand, and very nearly went in, but it's ended up pretty much middle of the green. So it won't be the easiest of putts, that, but certainly a much better position to be in than down the bottom of the fairway. So this last one, I'm going to go to Rolling Hills first tee, purely for fun. This one, basically it's the first par 5. You'll never play Rolling Hills first tee in any competitive mode that I'm aware of, certainly not when you've got enough stats to make use of this shot anyway. I'm going to need more stats than I've had up to now for this video. I've been using my G7 bag with a perfect zone. However, I'm going to need more stats than that. So what I'm going to do is, or what I've already done, sorry, is swap to my ultimate bag, which is that one there. I've also, you'll probably notice, selected the 15-yard tees and 10-yard balls. These are available occasionally on promotions, and you have to pay stars for them. They're very much icing on the cake things. I wouldn't even think about buying them. You've got better things to spend stars on, unless you've kind of maxed out your character as much as you can. Okay, so I'm going to go off to Rolling Hills first tee, off to the 4th hole, which is the first par 5. This shot is going to basically give me a about 650 yard drive. You'll see why shortly. So even more unrealistic than usual. The hole is well out of driving distance. However, ordinarily you go for the fairway here. There's another little bit of fairway. If you've got less stats, you can aim for down here, which gives you a high shot into the green. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to whack it at this path, and if I cheat a bit with the wind here, otherwise you'll watch me try and fail 20 times before I pull it off, if I ever do. So I've basically taken the wind out of the equation. I'm going to play a power shot at the middle of the path, full blast with my 1 wood. The idea is it's going to basically bounce down the path and onto the green, and I'll end up with a hopefully around about 650 yard drive. So I've got the first part right. It looks fairly good. Yep, it's a bit obscured by the tree, but there it goes over the bridge, and 649, so very nearly 650 yards. Purely for fun, totally useless, and it's given me a putt that I'm never going to hole, but good one for show. And that's that. Thanks for watching. There are plenty other holes with similar types of shots. There may be many that I'm not aware of. Please comment below if you know about any. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to do hopefully a couple more videos at the back end of this week, so keep your eyes open, and I'll see you all soon.